presentation from Minh Anh Mai from Saigon Technology University and Vietnam. As Vin has said, the only Vietnamese presentation in this webinar series. So we're very pleased to have you here. And the topic or the presentation is going to be about teaching during the pandemic and how educators in Vietnam respond to the transition from classroom to online teaching, and from your own personal experience, Minh Anh. So that's really interesting. And I'm very interested in your background in entrepreneurship and innovation training and E&I ecosystem. So at some point we'll have to catch up about all of that stuff. But at the moment, let's pass over to you for your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. How do I use this? Sorry. Please bear with me for a sec. Sorry, I just got some technology glitch. All right. How do I share screen?
Can you see the button down the bottom there?
Yeah, like,
yep.
All right.
It's not doing it for you.
Two screen, I want just you to see the right one. All right. I think this is it. All right. Ooh, so what are you seeing? Do you see the?
We can see the presentation in PowerPoint mode.
PowerPoint mode?
Yes.
How can I switch? There we are. Okay. Sorry. So I finished my last semester like 2 months ago. All forgotten. Sorry. All right. Can I start now? Do you see it properly now? Like the projection?
Yes, we can. That's good.
Thank you very much. All right. So Dr. Ariani, such a pressure following up your presentation is amazing. I feel a little bit nervous now. I should have gone first, but yeah. My name is Minh Anh. First of all, thank you very much for having me in this conference. So today, I'm gonna share my own experience from my teaching online for the last 2 years. It's nothing big, but it's just I wanna share my own struggle and some prices on practicing teaching in online during pandemic. So this is a agenda. So I'll introduce my school, quick one, walk you through what I've got during the pandemic in terms of infrastructures, some example from my classes in terms of the challenge facing student engagement, the collaboration, and how I can give feedback. Moving forward is the next one. Once all said and done, what can we expect for the future of digital education, I would say. And lastly, I have a few questions that I would like to discuss with you all here. Okay, so Saigon Technology University, can you see it move?
No, it's not moving at the moment.
Right.
We're still on the introduction slide.
Okay.
You might try to reshare it. Maybe probably this it was what happened before with me.
Okay. Yeah. I feel ashamed. Like I've been using it for ages, and now it's. How is this happening? Okay, let's do it again. So I should share it first and then share the screen. That's how we do it, right?
Yep.
I want to share screen too.
So we've got that first Australia-ASEAN slide at the moment.
Yeah.
There we go. It's moving. Well
Oh
done.
Finally. All right. Sorry for that. So a quick. Saigon Technology University is located in Ho Chi Minh City, which is the biggest city in Vietnam. But we are just a small private school and founded in 1997 as a vocational college. So we upgraded in 2006 as a university. We have 7 faculties and more than 6,000 students. Mostly we have technology faculties, but ironically, business administration faculty is the bigger one in terms of the number of students. We dominate in the school. So yeah. A quick context between last year and this year. So last year, the spring semester, we have 4 weeks moving online. It's just a flick of like this. The school just say we're going online, and they have we prepare nothing, but that's the first 4 weeks of the beginning of the spring semester. Then they move back to normal, and another week in the fall semester, and that's it. It just passed by really quick. We just moving online using Zoom, and then it's like temporary. Everyone knows it, and actually the local government did a really good job surpassing the COVID. We didn't feel it last year. So moving into this year, we were very positive. That is, okay, we have 1-2 weeks and then we good. But unfortunately, it lasts for like 4 months already, and I still don't see the end of it for this year. At the moment, we are rolling out the online examination for last semester, like final examination for last semester. We could, because we off since May, so we didn't have a chance to do it offline. So for last week, our university decided to do it online, and to be honest, it's a mess. But I won't mention it here. So like last year and this year as well, when we receive a notice like we're moving online, starting next week, what we got, you have Zoom, that's it. Be creative. So yeah, everyone trying to hang in there. Everyone has their own struggle. Here I will just mention my own. So we don't have LMS. Like, can you imagine teaching online without LMS? That's one factor. Not to mention lack of training of, technology literature, not just students, but lecturer as well. Like we have one section with Zoom training and that's it. So I'll be bold to say that we're doing fine. So I have a few challenging to share with you guys. It sounds similar to what you've been listening for the last 2 weeks, but it's actually quite different. Without LMS, and I'm not teaching language, I'm not teaching English. Most of you here, I attend lots of your presentation, mostly you for language teaching background, but I'm not teaching English. I teach finance, entrepreneurship, all sort of different field, I would say. So for student engagement, I picked international payment unit because the class always 60 plus students per class, and I had to do a lot of lectures. In class, like offline, I can stop at any moment, call their name to get their attention, to get them constantly be there with me. But online, as Dr. Ariane said, you can't force them to turn on camera. And not to mention, they have their own struggle with device. Most of them use smartphone. It's not ideal for online learning. They don't do reading. If I tell them to read the material and then come back to answer a few questions, it's just off. I get no feedback or interaction from there. So I have to be, there has to be a solution, I would say. And it has to be, another problem is my student is not good at English. So there's a lot of things out there that I can use, but it has to be Vietnamese friendly for them to use, so they don't have to guess. The first barrier is language. So luckily I found this. Oh my God, so I was so happy. I found a third-party platform which called AAAF Classroom. So basically it's an LMS. So it's allowed me to create classes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't translate it, but yeah, we have, I can create a class, and then I ask students to download the app to their phone, gave them their code, their class code, and they access to it to do sort of on all sort of things. So I can create notification whenever I create one, and there's a push notification to their phone, so they know that this is the time to do the test. It's the time to answer the question, and I like to surprise them. I'll stop at any time and I'll go there and do the test. Yeah, and so basically that is helping me control the class, seeing how they're doing. Did they pay attention to what I just said? And with this one, I can set the time as well. When it expires, they will no longer be able to do the test anymore, so they have to concentrate. So I said that if you have 15 minutes to finish this test, that's all they got. And I got all the stuff that I need. Like even that it gave me the start that how many times this student have left the test to look for material somewhere else. So it's good. And I got the average score for the test. What's the question they did worse? What is the question they did? So what I've been using is free. Of course, they charge for premium feature, but I'm happy with the free stuff that I got from this application. And all of this would count toward their final assessment. So we move on to the second challenge, which I have to deal with the entrepreneurship unit. This is a project-based unit, which student will group to do a project every week. So basically, if I do it offline, I would organize it as a series of workshops, and I'll be the facilitator. They have to do on their project on their own. I would just be there to help them. But to bring it online for just 5 weeks, the tutorial were the very end of their project, which is the key moment when they have to complete everything and preparing for pitching, which is very important skill for this one. Unfortunately, we have to do it online as well. And yeah, with this unit, with this one, it's require lots of group work, and I have to give them constant feedback. So I just use what I can, which is this one, a Zalo one is a WhatsApp kind of Vietnamese thing. So they create their group project, they text in there, they group call there, and I jump into their group text anytime to input my opinion if I see fit. But there's a lot. Like I have 20 groups last semester to follow up, and it's a constant texting. And if I jump from one group to another, I have to read it all from the beginning. So it's hard to keep track of with what they've been going on, and they can't reach me at the time of the problem arise. They have to wait for me. And it's hard for me to do the individual assessment at the end of the semester, because they would plan it into a group, like 1, 2, or 3 people would do for the rest of the group, and it's really hard to do the individual assessment, because it's the end of the semester, they will score individually. So that was my challenge that I faced for the last 2-3 semesters collectively. And the new semester has started. These photos went viral for in the last year when we begin we start a new semester. And see the school, empty school, where the rector gave the opening speech with no one there, and students have to stay home doing everything has to be at home, and I think I have no hope that we're going back to classroom this semester. So what should I do differently? Because I don't think I did good for the last two semesters, because it was just like react more than rather than plan it. I react to it. So it is like in every lectures, is it temporary or is it a long-term strategy? We're gonna have this for in long term or just 2-3 weeks? In the school education plans, it has to calculate it in detail if teaching in person, or how many weeks we're gonna have it online, and how to switch between these two. And the weakness, that we were common in our education now, that students are less able to self-study. The combination of family and school and education, student is still loose. They have to do everything on their own. And the school has to be very proactive and flexible is another problem. And how effective online teaching is depend heavily on the condition for implementation, including IT background, equipment, teaching and learning capacity, ability to operate and control teaching of each school and each region as well. We are living in a bubble between city and inner city. We have our own bubble between houses as well. And how about the human? Yeah, I feel like we don't have the motivation to make more effort, since if this is not the strategy of the school. Like, who will make the effort, the responsibility, enthusiasm? And if we don't, then we fall behind. The environment for teachers, lecturers to be encouraged, that require an environment to allow teachers to self-study, receive regular training, and be shared and be recognized. The recognition now, I would say, not about reward or anything, but we have to experience more with the education system here in Vietnam. And the last thing is, I believe each of us have experienced the COVID-19 trauma in some certain extent, and that would need need more notice from the government, from school, from the lecture as well, because I heard a lot of stories for the last 2 months, and yeah, I have to cut it out at some point. And for the coming semester, we changed the timeline. Now I'm gonna have for each for every section, it would last for like 4 hours. It's stressful thinking like I have to deliver and in 4-hour long online classes. So it's another thing I think we need to think about. It's concerning. So the last thing for today's presentation is I have a few questions I would love to discuss with all of you, if you mind. Like how digital teaching might evolve in the futures. I would say digital because it's not just online. I believe in the future we can use any means of digital technologies to learn. And what are changes in the perception of digital teaching, learning from you and from your students, and will everything will be back to it was, and do you want things to go back as it used to be? And the last question is, where's the boundaries of digital teaching, learning? Here is the AI, or where do we see ourselves in that future? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minh Anh, and a wonderful